Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a locally owned business serving central and southern Indiana since 1922, with residential and business internet, voice, and security services. Smithville, local pride, global technology. Information at smithville.net. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Tonight, the weekly special is exploring traditions old and new. We'll learn about the art of fencing, meet some championship robots, and journey to Kokomo to see handmade art glass. Plus, Cathy Gutjahr is here to perform tonight on the weekly special. Hi, I'm Pam Thrash.
And I'm Joe Wren. Welcome to the weekly special. So, what do you think?
Well, what are you doing here, Joe?
Where's yours?
What?
Where's your outfit?
I don't have one. I don't have a weapon or an outfit or anything.
Well, we're going to learn more about fencing, and we have the president of the IU Fencing Club here.
Okay, excellent.
So, let's watch this segment to learn more.
Fencing is really primal, right? Someone's trying to hit you and you want to stop them. And the idea of a fight, of a struggle, whether it's Pirates of the Caribbean or a sword movie or Star Wars, that kind of idea of the one-on-one struggle is really attractive. I mean, there's something in it that's really primal. In Olympic fencing, there are 3 different weapons: the foil, the épée, and the saber. And each one has slightly different rules and slightly different target areas. The first is the foil. Foil is really a precision weapon. I mean, all of them require some precision, but for foil, the target is smaller, you have right away, you can only score with the tip. It really requires a fencer who's going to be patient, set up actions, and it's the most technically proficient weapon. The second weapon is the épée, which is also a point weapon, but you can score anywhere on the body. Épée is a game that requires patience. Since it's the first person to be hit, you can be hit anywhere, on the hand or the foot or the head, and it really brings out a cautious, tactical fencer who's willing to set up long points and phrases before they score. And the final weapon is the saber, which you can score from anywhere from the waist up, and you can score with a point, or you can cut with a slashing action, either one. It's the one that requires the most speed, has the most movement, the points are much quicker, the entire bout is much quicker. And as it's a slashing weapon, it's fairly easy to hit your opponent. So to defend yourself requires more work and more distance. So where a foil bout may happen fairly close to each other, there may or may not be a lot of movement. In almost any saber bout, you're going to be running up and down the strip a lot. The basic theory of fencing is that if someone attacks you, you need to respond to that attack by blocking it or getting out of the way before you start your own riposte or an attack for yourself. The fencers will move up and down the piste, and whoever has the right of way and attacks scores and gets the touch. The exception is épée. The first person to touch, regardless of who started first, gets the action. And if both people touch at the same time, they both get a point. A fencing bout will start, both fencers will be on the on-guard line. It's on a 14-meter strip or a piste. And from that position, the director, who judges the bout, will say fence, and at that point they begin. Electrification changes the game completely. When the machine judges whether you score or not, and it judges it perfectly every time, it takes away a lot of what was guesswork, of people watching to see whether a hit had been made. It's really simple. It's a direct game to pick up. But I've seen people at IU come in to a class not knowing anything about fencing. And a few months later, they're competing against Olympians at a Notre Dame meet. Now, it may take a lifetime to master, to get to really the kind of nuances of the game, but the basic physical movements are pretty simple. There's a lot of sports in which if someone's bigger than you, or they're stronger than you, or they're faster than you, you're just going to lose. And fencing, not that way at all. So it's a great game for someone who otherwise hasn't found an outlet for their athletic talents to find a place where they can really excel. And it's a sport that really you can do for a lifetime, and that you find out more and more about how it's done as you come to know the game.
Wow, how cool. I'm here with Diane Fruchtman, president of the IU Fencing Club. Thanks for being here. You're going to show me a few things. Pam's standing by in case I go down.
Yeah, but you have weapons, so I'm going to stand back here, watch you get dressed and do your thing.
So first of all, safety first. So we have everything on.
Yes, there is the jacket, which is supposed to protect your body, your glove, which is going to protect your hand, and masks, which protect your face.
And I was impressed to hear this could stop a bullet.
Yes, well, probably not that one. This one can, because those are a little bit cheaper. But
indispensable.
the ones that the Olympians wear can actually stop bullets, and you'd probably still die because you're still getting hit with something at massive force. But it wouldn't go through the fabric.
Wow.
So anyway,
it's all right.
If these blades break,
what are you going to show me?
Die. Okay, well, so I'll show you how to hit me. That's what we're going to do today. And what we've got here is a foil. We're going to be fencing foil. And I'm wearing, this is the one piece of gear that I have that you don't, which is a lame, and it just shows what the target area is for foil. And you have to hit me with the tip of that weapon. All right. So first off, how to hold the weapon, all of your fingers underneath, except for your thumb. So it's almost like you're shaking its hand. Yeah, there you go. Okay. And so take a step back. All right. And on guard. So
this
feet
is this thing, right?
shoulder width apart and front foot facing your opponent.
You better put your helmet on there.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Now the first thing that you want to do is extend.
With just the arm.
Just with the weapon. Good. And then that's when you hit me. Right. Okay. So now, moving your feet too, we're going to do something called a lunge, which is from your on guard. Kick your front foot forward, land on your heel. But before you do that, extend your arm. So extend your arm, kick your front foot forward, land on your heel, and there you hit me. See? And you can hear the click. That means that you got that touch.
Yeah. And is that a point?
That's a point for you.
Hey.
That's a point for you.
I'm going to let you guys continue to on guard and poke and all that kind of stuff. And if you would like to learn more about fencing, visit the website you can see right on your screen. All right, well, while we let Joe change out of his fencing gear, we're going to take quite a different look at hand-eye coordination. The weekly special traveled to Greenfield Central High School to meet the VEX robotics team.
It may look like a robot playground, but this is the home and training field for Greenfield Central High School's award-winning VEX robotics team.
Several years ago, we wanted an extracurricular for our pre-engineering kids in the Project Lead the Way engineering program and found out about this and it seemed like a perfect outreach.
I've always been interested in things like robotics. In I think 5th grade, I went to a Lego Mindstorms camp for a few weeks, and that was really cool because you got to build like Lego robots, and this is now like metal robots, so it's just a step up. And then in 8th grade, we heard about it, and this was my whole group of friends, and we all just kind of joined it together.
We started in 06-07 school year with 8 students. This year that's just finishing up, we've got 33 kids involved and we're doing 6 competitions.
Each year, VEX teams are assigned one task to complete during battle competitions, such as throwing balls in a basket. The team that completes the task the most number of times during the battle wins.
It's a strategy like playing chess or basketball or football, and you've got to have plays and you've got to understand what's the quickest way to make the most points. And so we worked through that theory first. The VEX robotics team is a perfect application of the math and science, particularly physics, that the kids are studying in their engineering classes. And so they get to actually apply those concepts and see the benefit of it.
We have different roles. We have one guy who is a mechanic. We have a driver who drives almost exclusively. We have a couple of programmers. We have coaches that advise the driver on strategy. It's a lot of, okay, we have to do this and design it, and then it doesn't work. You have to go back and redesign it. And it's a lot of iterations on the same thing to make something better than some of its parts.
Our group of 4 juniors that is going to Worlds in April, they spent most of the summer designing, brainstorming, researching, and started fabrication even before school started. And so when the first competition came on November 12th, they were totally ready, and they were the first Indiana team to qualify for Worlds.
They won that bid to the VEX Robotic World Championship by beating over 50 teams from across the Midwest. Now the team will travel to Anaheim, California to compete against teams from around the world.
I think it's a very good social skill building, if you will, because they've got, once they're on a team, they've got to be able to lead, and they've got to be able to follow, and they've got to be able to agree. Yeah, so it's a good experience for them.
Oh my God. Rusher, you're such a pro. Thank you. We love you though. Good.
We will certainly be cheering for them on their road to the World Championships. And Joe, you have some great on-the-road music, right?
That's right, Pam. Here's Cathy Gutjahr and their title song of her new album, Quiet of the Road.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Cars race by her as she walks along the road. Wears a backpack and an oversized coat. Tired of walking, she waves a big rig down. Says he's glad to have some company for a while. She thanks him for the lift, takes off her hat, smokes a cigarette, leans back for a nap, 'cause she's got miles to go before she finds a place she can call her own. Not sure where she's going, but she knows she likes the quiet of the road. Quiet of the road. Wakes up to a pink sun setting in the west. Digs around her bag to see what she's got left. Scared to say too much in case he figures out she's just traveling with no specific route. 'Cause she's got miles to go before she finds a place she can call her own. Not sure where she's going, but she knows she likes the quiet of the road. City lights appear, the trucker slows down, turns to tell her he's refueling in Cheyenne. Pulls his wallet out, gives her a 10, says go get some food and shower if you can. 'Cause she's got miles to go before she finds a place she can call her own. Not sure where she's going, but she knows she likes the quiet of the road. An hour later, that same trucker looks around, tries to find her at the nearby restaurant. She said she planned to drive with him a little more, but he's got a sense she's not gonna show. 'Cause she's got miles to go before she finds a place quiet of the road, quiet of the road, ooh, quiet of the road.
Wow, that was great. Excellent. Thanks so much for being here. Would you like to introduce the band members?
Yes, we've got Dave Kokalis here on guitar and was also the producer for the CD. And this is Brian Mullins on the drums.
Great. And full disclosure, Dave is the husband of our co-host Pam.
So he has a few other connections.
It's a family affair tonight on the weekly special. This is great. I love it. Now, are you relatively new to the music scene? You took some time being a mom.
Yes, lots of time.
And then now you're back. What made you get back into music?
I was playing a lot, but I just got really interested in writing songs. And then when I started writing songs and performing, I just was motivated to record them, and that led me to the CD.
Sure. And the new CD is out.
It's out as of February.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it started with one song that I wanted to see if I could get some help with, so I brought it to Dave at Bloomington Recording, and he basically gave me a full band behind the song, and then we had 11 more after that, created the whole CD.
Were there any inspirations that kind of weave through the music?
Well, one of them is, one of the songs I'm going to do is called Beautiful Boy, so I guess inspired by my children growing up and not wanting to talk to me anymore. Sort of the teen phenomena.
That'll change.
Hopefully.
Once again. Yeah. If people like more information about how to pick up a CD or just about your band, where should they go?
I have a website, www.cathygutjahr.com, and they can check CD Baby also, or iTunes.
Okay, great. Well, thanks so much for being here. And of course, you'll be back with another great song. But for now, we'll go to Pam, who has some news on a unique music event this weekend.
That's right. We're here with Michael Cheng, Vice President at Indiana University's Dance Marathon, who's here to tell us about a unique event happening this weekend for families across South Central Indiana. Welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us about Rockin' for Riley that's happening Saturday.
Rockin' for Riley is a street festival that we have on Kirkwood Avenue. We have the streets shut down. There'll be a stage, there'll be games all across the street, there'll be vendors there selling food, and we'll have Riley families there speaking, sharing their stories. We'll have live music, we'll have a lot of games, a lot of fun out there.
And is the idea to raise money or raise awareness at this event?
Donations are definitely accepted, but the main idea is to raise awareness. And we also have a Ryan and Ashley Week right now that is happening, and that's to kind of commemorate in honor of Ryan White, who kind of started Dance Marathon, and Ashley Louise Kress, who was kind of one of our main inspirations, who passed away sadly in a drunk driving accident.
And what does this mean to you, being involved this closely with it? Have you met the families?
Yeah, you definitely get to meet the families, kind of get to know them better on a personal basis, kind of like hear their stories, because each story is different and they're so inspirational, and like all of them care so much about the helping others too at Riley, so it's always a great cause.
So this event is something that's not just for students that are helping put it on, but also for the entire community.
Yeah, definitely. This is open to anyone, college kids, any families around Bloomington, anyone who wants to come, so bring friends.
Okay, we'll bring friends, and we'll definitely be there too. It's this weekend, so come on out and show support. And again, it's this Saturday, April 14th from 9 a.m. until 11 p.m. And thank you again for being here today.
Thanks again for having me.
Well, from music to art, Hoosiers have definitely built some great community traditions. The weekly special traveled along Indiana's Glass Trail to learn about one such tradition that has become a staple around Kokomo, Indiana.
My name's Joe Rice. I'm a third-generation glass worker. My grandfather, John St. Clair, started St. Clair Glass in Elwood, Indiana in 1938. He died in 1958, and my Uncle Joe took over operations until he passed away in 1987. So this place, actually, where we are out in the House of Glass here in Elwood, was left vacant. My Uncle Joe St. Clair became executor of the estate, so he was to decide how it was to be disposed. So in 1987, my late wife and I bought this place, and I've been here ever since. I actually started working glass with my uncles when I was 12 years old. That would have been 1962, and you can do the math. So I've been around it for quite a few years, and I think probably have made nearly 1 million pieces of glass in my lifetime. We do make anything from paperweights to vases to perfume bottles to lamps and other collector's items. The mystique of art glass is that it is made by hand, particularly in this day of mechanization and technology. Something that's made entirely by hand by a craftsperson. It offers a unique opportunity to witness to this object that someone else has made. So the first bit of glass, he's dipping in chips of white frit. Tim will warm that in the glory hole, and then he'll actually add another layer of white frit for the bottom part of the paperweight. We'll give it a quick block to shape the flower bit up. Then we'll pick up a layer of crystal over the top. We can begin to shape the flowers and put in the bubbles. Well, everything is done by hand. There's no machine that's really been developed to create a paperweight in the way that we do. So we can make today, in the small facility we have, we can make about 60 pieces of glass a day. The difficulty is allowing the glass to do what it wants to do. Now this is ready to knock off and go to the annealing oven, where it sits in there for 2 to 3 days to cool down slowly. So we just leave the door closed, wait till it gets down to about room temperature and take it out. Glass medium is a little bit more unusual than most, and it does require some discipline as far as the heat, the strength of the arms manipulating the molten glass. One has to be unafraid of the steam, the heat, the smell, the smoke, and the hard, hot work. There is an internal feel for the glass that you just begin to sense what that glass is going to do. Knowing how and when to roll, to shape, to punch or prod, when to cool or jack, all those things just are a natural ability, I think, that's developed over the years with many people. It's not just something that you can pick up and do. It's a difficult craft to learn. Probably the biggest benefit that I derive from making glass is seeing the enjoyment in the eyes of the people that purchase the product. My grandfather had this vision that he wanted to make a nice piece of glass that everyone could enjoy, but also at a moderate price that everyone could afford. The connection's always going to be there with the family. For that, I'm forever grateful to have been blessed with the gifts to come into this family and to do what I've done for so many years. It's just something I really enjoy doing, and it's not very often that someone can enjoy what they do and make a decent living from it as well.
How cool is that? And Joe, check out this awesome paperweight they made.
Yeah, the detail is great.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's even inscribed at the bottom with our producer's
Oh, look
initials.
at
Isn't that neat?
That is neat.
Well, if you would like one of your own, just check out www.thehouseofglassinc.com.
Well, it looks like that's all for tonight.
Thanks for joining us. For now, we'll leave you with more from Cathy Gutjahr.
Beautiful boy, give me a smile. Beautiful boy, talk to me once in a while. 'Cause I remember you and all you used to do. I still see in you a child. Beautiful boy, don't you cry. Beautiful boy, you're gonna be alright. 'Cause every time you fall, you learn to see it all. Next time you'll stand real tall and touch the sky. time you fall, you learn to see it all. Next time you'll stand real tall and touch the sky. Beautiful boy, give me a call. Beautiful boy, think of me once in a while. 'Cause when you're not around, my world is upside down. And I'll always miss the sound of your voice. Beautiful boy.
Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a locally owned business serving central and southern Indiana since 1922, with residential and business internet, voice, and security services. Smithville, local pride, global technology. Information at smithville.net. And by WTIU members. Thank you.